Here's what I hate, Taylor. I hate people that have had a good life, that have a good job, that pretend that they are storming the beaches of Normandy because there's some law that's passed in Florida that does not say you can never say the word gay, but they interpret it as that, and they decide, you know what? I'm going to have a moment of silence. This is my stand to make. This is my hill to die on. I think when we got to that point, I'm just thinking, this is so utterly ludicrous.
When for you guys in sports, when was the moment that things just got way too political, right? Like, even let's take it back and right now and kind of in retrospect. So you have, people were losing their minds. I saw Outkick covered this over a Trump ad run during the college football championship, which in my mind, I was like, the hypocrisy's going strong because we saw BLM and all this plastered over football fields, helmets, the whole thing. So what's the deal? Is it hypocrisy? Should it be kept out altogether? When for you was the moment was like, this is nonsense, like it has no place being in sports?
It was whenever everyone was canceled for standing for the anthem. For me, it was 2016. If you stood for the national anthem, all of a sudden you were anti-American culture, which was BS. I mean, I'm thinking about what that stood for. And you can stand for the anthem, but you have the right to kneel for the anthem because you stand for the anthem. It was around that time because we were doing shows every day. The first time politics really got into it was around that time, Chad, for me. And then I would say that's also the time that race came into effect with all of it, because it was, oh, you don't like Kaepernick because he's black. No, Kaepernick's Fidel Castro, and he hasn't read page 3 of the book that he's reading.
Yeah, it was right around that time. I'll also say whenever the "Don't Say Gay" quote unquote bill came around in Florida, there were moments of silence at ESPN, and I remember watching some of it. I'm thinking, this is so dramatic. It was like 2021, 2022, yeah. But it just got to a point where I'm just thinking, guys, this is not a big deal. And it's the people. Here's what I hate, Taylor. I hate people that have had a good life, that have a good job, that pretend that they are storming the beaches of Normandy because there's some law that's passed in Florida that does not say you can never say the word gay, but they interpret it as that, and they decide, you know what? I'm going to have a moment of silence. This is my stand to make. This is my hill to die on. I think when we got to that point, I'm just thinking, this is so utterly ludicrous. Can we be done with it? I want to get back to sports. I love what you do, entertainment, fun stuff. Let's get back to that. And those that aren't in a position to affect wars in Palestine or Ukraine, just chill out. Just chill out a bit.
Let me hear me out for a second. I think a lot of reality TV had a huge effect in this because of a lot of what Bravo is doing. All women watch Bravo. They watch Bravo, and Andy Cohen and all, and it has trickled down or into sports. Michael Sam, really funny. The draft where he was drafted with the 7th round or wherever it was by the St. Louis Rams. The entire day 3 of the draft was about if Michael Sam was going to be drafted or not, and there's no doubt in my mind that the NFL asked St. Louis to draft him. But he would be the first openly gay athlete in the NFL inside of a locker room. That was whenever that was. Keeping Up with the Kardashians was huge. Real Housewives of Orange County or Jersey or name it. But I'm saying, like, but you have all these different factors. I mean, I would love for Laguna Beach to come back. But I mean, I think a lot of it has just combined into news. And the news is going to cover it a certain way. And I think sports coverage turned into who owns us. Okay, Disney, Paramount, and you're doing based on what the numbers were elsewhere, and it turned into that where they already have. I mean this legitimately and also like tongue in cheek. They already have the women watching them. How do we get the men? Well, because it's going to be you're going to be canceled if you don't. I think a lot of it had to do with that. Michael Sam was before Kaepernick, and then Kaepernick happened, and it combined everything into one.
Listen, I think, I feel mixed about it. It's the same way I feel about celebrities in Hollywood. It's like, who are you? But then I'm like, okay, I get it. You have a platform. It's a housewife effect. Like everyone wants to have the theatrics and say their piece. I almost feel like one part of it, stay out of it. Like, I know they get so mad when it's like, just dribble the ball, whatever, but it kind of like it is. But there's a part of me that can respect, as much as I deeply disagreed with Kaepernick. I'm like, you know what? He was about it and he took the fall for it. So I can respect that. Harrison Butker, same thing. And you have, I think, was it Andy Reid who was like, he partnered with Tim Cotton and he's like, you know what? We're going to support, okay, yeah. Like a teacher. Yeah.
One point before we sign off. So Dave Chappelle, who I love, great comedian. I don't think a woke guy, quote unquote, at all. His SNL monologue, he ended it. Everyone wanted him to talk about Trump, all that inaugurated. Here we go. What's he going to say? He told a story about Jimmy Carter. And he said in the beginning, he said, people say he was a good president. People say he's awful. I don't know. I'm not equipped to answer that, but I'll tell you this story. And I'm thinking, this is what we need. He told a great human interest story. And I think most people agree. I think Jimmy Carter was a terrible president from everything I read, right? But he's a great man. Both can be true. I think he's a good guy that was a terrible president. And I don't think that he was defending his presidency, but he talked about him being a good man. And he appealed to Donald Trump and all. It was fine. I had no big issue with it. That is where we need to get back to. Celebrities saying that. He said, I'm not equipped to tell you if he's a good president. That's what we need. Sorry. Here we go.
Sorry, I feel bad for I'm being between us two
Go ahead.
sociopaths. Okay. The last thing. Okay, no,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, really.
Chappelle realizes what the three of us realize, that they've turned our everyday lives into a reality show. So you mentioned Kaepernick was all about what he believes in. He still is. No one gives a shit anymore about Colin Kaepernick because he's not headlines.
No, it's true. It's kind of bleak. Like he took the fall for it.
But I'm saying, like, no one cares anymore because he's not the headline. It's on to the next thing. So now we're talking about like Trump and he's back and everything. Again, it's just a rotation of it is regurgitation of the same headlines that we had 8 years ago is what we're doing. We're repeating everything.